Chicago Sky moved both of their home games against the Indiana Fever this year to the United Center. Now, the United Center is the largest stadium in the NBA with almost 21,000 seats, which is more than double where the Sky normally play at Wintrust Arena.
Before the reality of a full-court press set in, Angel Reese supporters were engaged in intense conversation. Caitlin Clark's first NBA game against the Chicago Sky sold out in 1 minute, faster than a fast break. So was the purpose of all that. Did Angel Reese's supporters make a mistake? Or is this the beginning of the ultimate game of revenge? This rivalry is growing more intense than a courtside drama with a mixed-up referee. So fasten your seatbelt.
Center. If you guys did not see, tickets sold out. And tickets sold out in 5 minutes. They sold out in 5 minutes. United Center sold out in a minute. Sorry, not a minute, 5 minutes. A minute. It was a fight even trying to get tickets. Seats kept disappearing. They started $200. Back in 2007, you get season tickets for that price. You can go get season tickets probably a year ago for that price.
Yes, the Chicago Sky, a professional basketball club, are voluntarily giving up their home court to the Indiana Fever. Supporters create space for them. You know, nothing says home court advantage like doing that. Don't worry, it's all due to Angel Reese. At least that's what her die-hard admirers want you to think. Given how much credit they're trying to give her, you'd think she personally signed the lease on the new stadium, constructed the seats, and put up the hoop.
It's 1 minute, the time it takes to tie a shoelace, pour a cup of coffee, or check a text. That's all the time the Chicago Sky needed to sell out 20,000 tickets for their highly anticipated matchup against the Indiana Fever. And let's not kid ourselves. The reason is as clear as day. Caitlin Clark, from Iowa to Indiana and now to the biggest basketball cities across the country, the Caitlin Clark effect is more than just a catchy.
The Sky saw the impending tidal wave of Fever fans swarming in. They decided to just move, and within a minute and 60 seconds, all of the tickets were gone. Scalpers are most likely, while Chicago fans are out here having the time of their lives. Oh, they'll be scattered around, frantically attempting to recall the appearance of their own team's emblem amidst a sea of Fever jerseys.
Sky Fever tickets went on sale at 11 a.m. today for the United Center. This is the game that was changed into the 23,000 people arena, which I think is only 21,500 for games and 23,000 for concerts. But it sold out like that. However,
let's face it, there is only one reason why this craziness is occurring, and it has nothing to do with Angel Reese. The rookie with the golden touch, Caitlin Clark, is the one who is truly making a difference in women's basketball at the moment. But of course, the story has to be spun. The stadium is crowded because of Angel Reese, as if crowds weren't actually following the ticket site like it was a sneaker drop to catch a peek of Caitlin.
Against Chicago, that's a huge thing. This league has decided, hey, we know what we have here in this matchup. We know people will watch. And quite frankly, I'm ready to see the Indian Fever walk the dog some more with the Chicago.
Wait until opening day when the real show starts. And don't believe me, Chicago Fever supporters who came for one cause and one reason only, not to support the local team, will flood the stadium as Sky players get a taste of what it's like to play in their own city. Angel Reese admirers will be sitting there squinting, in the interim, looking for proof that is somehow related to her. They might say she's motivating the Fever fans or that she secretly controls the stadium, but who knows? The mental gymnastics will be Olympic dash level.
Now, people do not realize, like, there are some Chicago Sky fans. There really are. But as you guys can tell, not every Chicago Sky game will sell out this year, even in their 10,000 seater stadium. Most won't sell out. And the Fever are going to sell out every single game immediately in Cambridge.
And let's not overlook the real Sky players in all of this. Imagine working hard during the preseason to prepare for a strong home opener, only to discover that you'll be fighting for scraps of support in your own building. The PA announcer might as well introduce them as the visitors before tip-off. If this is any indication of how things will go, it will be a long night for them and an even longer season. Things will work out, so let's continue acting like this is about Angel Reese. On opening night, when the stadium is 80% full of feverish fans, the excuses will be just as amusing as the game itself. Let's continue to ignore the obvious reason why people are spending their money at historic rates. The Caitlin Clark effect is a comprehensive economic stimulus plan, not just a catchphrase. Tickets go within minutes. The Chicago Sky isn't the Only team making money, the Atlanta Dream, whose owner had less than glowing things to say about Fever fans, also realized the power of supply and demand. Arenas suddenly realize they have extra seats lying around somewhere, and team owners who once laughed at the hype are now showing off.
The web we weave when we choose to deceive. And what I am talking about is the Atlanta Dream. Now, if that WNBA team seems to ring a bell, big ding, ding bell right in your ear hole, it's because of the drama that happened last season. Came out and said, nah, Caitlin Clark effect. Caitlin Clark fans, nah. Remember, everybody remember that shade she decided to throw at the fans, that disrespect? Anybody forget that? Well, my goodness. There we are right there. Atlanta Dream under fire after co-owners Caitlin Clark fan comments and Sky disrespect. And it was about, here we go. That ain't a representation of us, said about Clark fans. Y'all not like us. They not like us.
See, when the Fever hit town and the demand for tickets looked like a Beyoncé World Tour pre-sale, the Dream was happy to play in their small, comfortable arena where they could maintain a certain level of exclusivity like a members-only club for those who believe Caitlin Clark's success is merely a media fabrication. After reality hit them in the face, the Dream had a miraculous epiphany. Wait a minute, we can make more money. Suddenly, a team that had previously denigrated the Fever and their F upgraded to a larger stadium faster than a bandwagon fan changes jerseys, while the Chicago Sky, who should now simply rename themselves the since your entire brand is centered around we're not Indiana, but please come watch us play Indiana. The Caitlin Clark Stock Exchange is leading the way in making money off of the phenomenon. They're selling out more quickly than a celebrity apologizing for a negative tweet, and let's face it, they need it.
I mean, there's no doubt that this game is going to sell out. It is like the hot ticket of the season. And incidentally, it is going to break the record for the biggest crowd of a WNBA.
Even though Caitlin Clark receives more media attention than any other second-round draft pick in recent memory, there's an ongoing subplot that features a certain person who simply cannot stand that all of this attention isn't focused on her. Oh, yes. Every time Caitlin Clark makes headlines, someone else has a lot to say about being ignored, disrespected, or undervalued. It's incredibly fascinating, one would think. A player who is so driven to establish her value would prioritize winning games over maintaining a running record of perceived slights. While teams throughout the league are busy rearranging seats or moving mountains to fit the Caitlin Clark craze, some people continue to act as though it doesn't exist. Is hilarious since it takes mental acrobatics to disregard that an entire women's basketball team could be eligible for an Olympic Games due to a significant economic event, but let's not destroy the story with facts just yet. Denying the Caitlin Clark effect is like trying to claim the sky isn't blue when you're standing outside on a sunny day. No matter how much people like it or not, ticket sales will still occur. The ratings for television, while other players are too busy sneering at Clark's accomplishment, her own teams are silently applauding her for the additional revenue. The jersey purchases are real.
Went to the WNBA, the average attendance was 6,109. And then during her rookie year, the average attendance was 15,746, which is a 157.7% increase. We have talked about the Caitlin Clark effect many times on this channel, but I thought that this graphic alone, when you talk about the impact that she has had on the league and specifically
That's adorable. But when it comes time to move games to larger arenas, more people want to see Caitlin Clark than anything else that was planned that evening. The hypocrisy is unbelievable. 1 minute, it's oh no, Caitlin Clark's fans are ruining the WNBA experience. And then, wait, why is she the only one filling seats? Someone should make it make sense. Meanwhile, in Chicago, Angel Reese is playing in what can only be described as a program for witness protection unmatched. In terms of empty seats, ticket freebies, and the ability to go unnoticed, it's almost as if people would rather see real hoops than triple singles and off-court stunts. Let's pretend this is merely a media conspiracy and not the truth of what Caitlin Clark is doing. I can't believe that this is true, people. I can't believe this shit is real from a professional athlete. Angel Reese is out there simply existing because, if this league truly didn't want Fever fans, they wouldn't be going to extreme lengths to capitalize on Clark Mania, rescheduling games to NBA arenas, and watching ticket prices soar because one player showed up and made the sport relevant. Meanwhile, Reese's fans are out there working harder than her defensive effort in an attempt to persuade the world that people should let's check the numbers, please. Oh, well, that would be unfair because when Caitlyn performs, the arena is packed. And when Angel performs, it's a great chance for a quiet, private meditation session in an empty stadium. However, it's not her fault, right? It's those skewed WNBA fans, you know, who seem to only love Caitlyn Clark because of some grand conspiracy, rather than because she actually plays well. That makes perfect sense.
And yet
if things continue this way, Angel
Indiana
Reese
Fever
games may begin to offer door prizes to entice people inside, such as a free sandwich, gas card,
with
or
Indiana
a
Fever going
please,
to play
for
the
the love
Brazilian
of
national
God,
team at
show up
Cover Hockey
discount.
Arena, Caitlin's
My
college
routine
facility.
isn't selling
Sold out.
tickets, but
They
don't
went on
worry,
sale this morning at
things
9
will
a.m.
change
for
soon.
Fever season
People
ticket
will
holders,
decide they
Iowa
love
donors,
inefficient
and
basketball,
Iowa season ticket
needless
holders for
drama,
women's basketball,
and post-game
and then general
soliloquies
admission
about
was
how
supposed to go on sale
difficult it
tomorrow
is
at
to
9
be a
a.m.
superstar in a
I'm hearing
league that
rumblings
hardly
of like maybe
acknowledges
scalper
your
got in, like the
existence.
secondary market is already
Until
crazy.
then, the WNBA will continue operating as if it doesn't want to. The league may be disingenuous in its efforts to ensure that Caitlyn Clark's games are the greatest event in town, but at least it is aware of where the money is. At this point, you would think that after all that talk, all that bravado, and all that chest thumping, Angel Reese, the self-proclaimed queen of the court, would be out there dominating with ease. However, she's out there bricking shots as if she's trying to build affordable housing, and yet there's still a growing army of truth deniers who claim she's improved this season at social media engagement at this rate. It's everyone else's fault that my routine isn't selling tickets. Angel Reese games might start giving away door prizes to get people in, like a free sandwich, a gas card, or a please, for the love of God, show up discount. But don't worry, things will get better soon. People will decide they love inefficient basketball, needless drama, and post-game soliloquies about how difficult it is to be a superstar in a league that hardly acknowledges your existence. Until then, the WNBA will continue acting as though it doesn't want more fans while making sure Caitlyn the league may be hypocritical, but at least it understands where the money is, and Clark's games are the biggest event in town. At this point, you would think that after all that talk, all that bravado, and all that chest thumping, Angel Reese, the self-proclaimed queen of the court, would be out there dominating with ease. However, she's out there bricking shots as if she's trying to build affordable housing, and yet there's still a growing army of truth deniers who claim that she's improved this season at social media engagement. Angel's ability to humiliate herself and others in spectacular ways is the only thing that sets these games apart, but don't tell her fans that they're too busy writing essays about how she's embarrassed. She has made missed layups, turnovers, and defensive lapses that would make even James Harden blush. Improving her abilities and playing her game indeed. Progress is being made if we're talking about elevating shots that somehow never managed to go in the basket. However, we also need to consider the body language, the annoyance, the heightened emotions to each missed call, and the death looks directed at teammates who dare to be alive. She has a classic appearance that makes it seem like everyone else is to blame. Her fans are out there acting as though she's about to have an MVP season, smashing college players, while we're witnessing one of the worst self-awareness droughts in basketball history. Is going to sell insurance next season isn't the same as playing against the WNBA's top players. But let's continue acting as though her 14 points and undeniable effectiveness in an exhibition game demonstrate her potential for greatness. The actual kicker is right here. Opening day is quickly approaching, and the Chicago, given that most teams have a home court advantage, Sky had better prepare for the league's most bizarre home crowd scenario.
League first and
Chicago may be the first team in history to have their home opener hijacked by an opposing fan base.
Or at least it looks
Fever
like
fans are set to invade Wintrust Arena like it's a summer festival, drowning out the few remaining Sky supporters. The club is going to the playoffs. Picture the scene. In the paint, Aliyah Boston catches a pass. Approval roars as the stadium erupts when Caitlin Clark drains a deep three. The few guards may give Angelry a few mocking shouts or a layup. Cricket, the entire situation will feel more like a violent takeover than a home opening for Chicago supporters who haven't come to terms with their predicament yet. The Sky should be protecting their turf, but instead they may have to file a noise complaint. Furthermore, it's not like Chicago fans have much to cheer for at the moment. This is a club that hardly has an identity, much less a path to a championship, but at least they have someone who can make headlines, not for real. On-court excellence, mind you. However,
Keith Porter is there. He is ready to take Caitlin Clark's game to the next level. They're working on a lot of finishes in this video. A lot of finishes at the rim, and maybe some different finishes that we didn't see from her in the 2024 season.